Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Perspectives, the home edition. We are so glad that you had the time to stop and visit with us. We got an old friend on the show today, Chad Oliverson. Chad, good to see you, bud.
Hey, good to see you.
How's everything on your end of the block?
Hey, living the dream, right?
You're impossible. We're going to be talking about the Monroe Academy murals, but before we get to that, a little bit about Monroe Academy, if you wouldn't mind.
Monroe Demonstration Academy is part of TPS. It's in North Tulsa. It really is kind of the new way of how schools are going. It's almost a preparatory school. Kids graduate there from the 8th grade, so it is a middle school, but they're preparing them for more. It's not just about reading, writing, arithmetic, things we're used to back in our day, Sam, when we were kids, but it's back when we went to school together. It's more about those things plus real world interactions. So they bring in guest speakers, scholars. They let the students interact with outside organizations like Food on the Move, doing a community garden to teach them how to work together to do something better for the community. So they're preparing these students to be amazing contributing members to our society and community. And every school, gosh, if that were the goal, to not just make them academically smart, but make them ready for university and ready for the real world, and then how to interact with coworkers and your new community members. I mean, I'm in awe of what they do, and their leadership there is truly amazing.
And I have to say, I'm going to throw this line in. You're going to hear me say it more than once. I can't overemphasize the importance of the arts.
I echo that. Obviously, it's what I've chosen to do with my life, and not just as an actor. I mean, you go into it as a young person, as an actor. Oh, I'm going to do this, and you do have those opportunities. But then you found the real meaning behind it and how it changes communities, how it really does change communities and makes the quality of life in every city so much higher, so much more elevated, that they become cities that people want to live in. And, there's proof of that out there. It's not just me saying it. Look at the major cities that are successful. They have healthy arts.
You and I were in school many moons back.
That's right. Our graduating class.
Oh boy, listen, we didn't have these opportunities. We didn't have the opportunity to learn how to memorize a part and interact that part with another student who also had memorized parts, and marry the two parts together,
right, and
see what magic it created.
Right. It truly is transformative. You hear that a lot, and I don't mean to be trite with that saying that the arts are transformative. An old boss told me once, let me guess, you're one of those people that believes arts will change the world. And I looked at him and I said, yeah. Yes.
Oh, I don't have any doubt. I have no doubt. And we have actors on the world stage right now. Oh gosh, I don't want to drag you into this, but we have actors on the stage right now that run for and are elected to office. Don't do that.
This is true. Some are successful because they do know how to communicate with the public. And if they're going into it for the right reasons, I applaud it. If it's just to up a career, or good people are good people, bad people are bad people. So
and the wills will out. Let's talk about the murals, if you don't mind, because I want to get into some great video that you were able to supply us. What are we talking about here? The Monroe Academy murals.
This was such a gift to us to be able to be part of this. We were contacted by Monroe Demonstration Academy, and they were given a grant by Zaro, and to do these murals. And they contacted us because they didn't know what do we do now? We know we can fund it, but how do we put the artistic element into it? It wasn't their wheelhouse, and that's understandable. So they, through connections and friends, they called us in and they said, hey, look, we're a silent partner for this, but we will help you organize it. We will help you find the artists, and we'll pull some other community partners in, and let's make this as big of a deal as it should be. And that's what happened. We did the RFP, a call to artists. So artists were paid to do their work as they should be. And they decided to base their murals on their principles, their values that they have at their school. So each one of them reflects a different value, and they're all very positive values and all values we should hold. We did that process. We found the artists that we wanted to use. That was a collaborative effort. Every part of this was collaborative, and it was run and directed directly by Monroe. We wanted them to be the head of this. The reasoning for it, so you know, is they had added onto their building that a lot of blank canvases, and they thought, how do we inspire our students every day to be the best that they can be, along with our studies and along with how we're preparing them for high school and college. What inspires the most is art, because it's visual, it's tactile, it's there in your face. So we chose these values, we chose the artists, and then the process got more exciting. We brought in FC Tulsa, unlikely partner, right? They're sports. Well, you couldn't find a better partner to help with the arts than FC Tulsa, because they are so connected to our community. And we've had many offspring conversations and still have a partnership of how we're going to tie athletics and arts together and say, hey, it's not a choice. You can do both, and you can do it in school because they both have the same principles. So they provided this beautiful video that we're seeing right now, and we did some interviews with it, and they were there hand in hand with us and Monroe. The three of us just hit the ground running. I'm yammering on, but I'm going to keep going until you stop me. Because there's so much to say. It's all very positive. It wasn't just us three. The most exciting part of it was, and it was their wish, and we supported 1000%. It had to come from the community of Monroe, and it had to come from the students of Monroe.
Well, two quick questions about that.
Sure.
As I'm looking at the video, I'm realizing that I'm seeing students paint.
Yeah, you're seeing, actually, yes. There are some students that helped, mural artists that are students of theirs or co-workers of theirs. But here's where you're exactly right. These students and their parents and representatives of the communities, we had weeks of Zoom meetings, because it was right during the middle of the pandemic, where we got together. So we all spoke in this large Zoom meeting on what are our values, and then how do we represent those?
Let me interrupt you just for a second here, Chad. Let's go back a few years. With me, it would be like 3 generations. With you, maybe 1. If we were able to transport ourselves back to, let's say, the grade school, upper grade school tier for just maybe a couple of days and take a look, how do you suppose our lives might have changed had we had this opportunity?
You know, it's so funny that you say that, because we talked about this a lot in the meetings. And I said, I remember going to high school, and I loved my high school. Don't misunderstand. But the only art we had on the wall was our mascot. That's what was painted. I was able to take theater, which was transformative for me. It painted my life, and there was band. But can you imagine? Yes. And can you imagine walking down the halls and seeing, in some cases, yourself on the mural? Because they pulled real students into the murals itself. The inspiration and the bonding that would have been given could have solved so many problems that you and I probably faced in high school, where there wasn't a commonality. There were cliques, there were, I'm this, I'm a jock, I'm a this. This erases all of that, and it puts you on equal playing ground, and it makes you think. And
I knew Mr. Zarl, and I had the opportunity to talk with him, to chat with him once some years back before his death. And I was amazed at how sharp and how intuitive the man was about children and the importance early planning and early exposure to the arts was, in his opinion, to the child. And he was right on target.
It's so true. And studies really root that out. I mean, they really show that it's true. Even between 12 and 14 is another mind expansion period for kids, or youth, I should say. So that's another time where you want to really hit them with art and all of these things, because they're absorbing again. We absorb at a very young age, and we absorb again between 12 and 14. And then we're you and I, and we just sit back and enjoy it, but we're not absorbing as much anymore. But we just enjoy it now. But yeah, man, wouldn't it have been great to be inspired as you walk down a hall, instead of being worried about your next class while you looked at a big blank wall?
Or dodging the mean girls.
Always the mean girls. What was up with them?
Yeah. Hey, we got about a minute and a half, and I want to toss the ball over the fence to you for a second about your organization. What do you guys need right now?
You know, we're starting our 7th campaign. We're a United Funding organization, and we're starting it with Step In and Step Up. That's our campaign motto, and it's step into the arts and step up to help us meet our mission. And our mission is to do things like we just talked about, to be a sounding board and organizer for organizations, but also to help fund almost 40 arts organizations in the Tulsa area to do these works for the youth and for our elderly and for our vets. It's so much more than what you see on stage or what you see on the canvas.
Hey, Chad, I want to thank you for taking time to come in, and I want you to consider yourself a regular, as long as we're all together here talking. But I'm out of time, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to cut you off and say we'll see you next time.
I'm proud to be a regular.
Thank you, my friend. We're all out of time, folks. We'll see you back next time. Bye-bye.